Welcome back to Romantasy Chaos HQ, the pod. We are Avery and Xavier Harleston, healthcare professionals by day, romantasy theorists, and aspiring authors by night. Today we are covering the epigraph from Fourth Wing, Chapter 6. This is your warning. There will be spoilers for the entire Empyrean series. If you have not read all three books, it may be time to turn back. We are not rated E for everyone. Xavier has a degree in cussing and is not afraid to use it. And we do discuss any and all adult topics covered in these books. We like a challenge, so we tackle each epigraph without prepping, placing it into the context of the series, not just the book or chapter it's tied to. But you don't have to take it cold, so here's our one-sentence summary of the chapter. Dane, let me touch your face, Atos, tries to use Violet's broken arm to convince her to leave the writer's quadrant, going so far as to insist that Nolan not mend it. But even under the influence of the good meds, she doesn't give in, which is excellent, because when she returns to the barracks, she has a letter from Mira and the Book of Brennan waiting for her. There are 6 minutes on the clock and more Fourth Wing lore than can fit in the Book of Brennan, so don't blink. Don't scroll. Don't let Taryn distract you. We have 360 seconds to blow your mind.
And go.
It is my opinion that of all the signet powers writers provide, mending is the most precious, but we cannot allow ourselves to become complacent when in the company of such a signet. For menders are rare, and the wounded are not. Major Frederick's Modern Guide for Healers.
Sweet. We get a healer's one. I feel
Oh,
like
we
we're
get a healers and menders one, which I feel like as healthcare professionals, there's such a difference. Menders and healers are not the same thing. They're and this is so interesting that the guide for healers is saying like we can't rely on magic. Like the magical abilities to heal are rare and the wounded are not. So you can't just say, "Oh, we have a mender." Like, you know, it's basically like how nurses can't rely on doctors to be there for everything. Like, you got to know how to handle stuff. But if there's a doctor there, go ahead, doctor. I'll let you deliver that baby. But if not, I'm prepared to catch.
well, and I think it's really important that they are splitting out menders and healers, because menders fix things like ward stones and broken bones, but there's no discussion of like how a mender is going to, heal your mind. And the wounded that have, beyond physical damage that has to be fixed, where menders are going to go, I took care of that slash wound, the tissue is fixed, the bone's not broken, you can walk again, is very different than, dealing with the post battleness that the healers are likely part of.
The psychological and emotional recovery necessary, right? Whether your injury is from battle or from falling off the gauntlet and not dying because you weren't that high up or whatever it is, whatever the cause of your injury, the mental and emotional. I mean, in my mind, healers, um, when you compare it to like modern healthcare, um, healers really are kind of like a combination of doctors, nurses, social workers, psychologists. Kind of they haven't broken all of that out into different functions um, within this world, but all of those functions are still needed to perform.
Well, and I think this epigraph, plays into Sawyer, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Sawyer's leg and his ability to live heal much faster than his ability to get back to riding, or his willingness to accept help from his dragon in order to ride,
Mm-hmm.
or the concept that his dragon was going to help him, or what, special um apparatus he would need in order to mount his dragon. So again, he was mended quickly but did not heal for a long time.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting too because both Sawyer and Andarna experience this attempt at mending, but you can't mend something that doesn't exist anymore. Sawyer's leg does not exist after it is bitten off by a wyvern. And Darna's wing never grew this muscle that was needed. Like the muscle itself does not exist. Um, so you can't mend something that isn't there. You can only mend things that you have all of the pieces to put it back together. And when you don't have all of the pieces to put it back together, and I think this is what happens too, like you you can't mend the psychological wounds because you cannot give someone back. You don't have a piece of psychological safety or um, lack of fear that you can give back, and then you can integrate that into their psyche, and now you've mended them from these types of wounds. You can only heal that, and
Well,
that takes time.
and then, its core themes explored throughout the books with Darna, being super powerful, but being inhibited by the muscle missing that can't
Mhm.
be, mended. That Sawyer is, clearly going to be an important part of the squad going forward, but had to have help to ride his dragon. But I wonder what this means for Brennan. What is the non-mendable part of Brennan? Because we really believe that Brennan, was able to mend himself, that he didn't completely die, and that um,
Naolin.
Naolin was able to, help him stay alive long enough to mend himself. But did he heal? And if he's not healed, what does that mean for what happens in book 4 and book 5 in his relationship with his sister? Because it clearly never healed his relationship with his mother.
Mm, yeah, relationships can't be mended; they can only be healed. That's such a interesting. I would also say it's so interesting, because I think this is the chapter where we meet Nolan, who's, like, 1,000,000 years old, which is really he's the only other mender we know of besides Brennan. It is a rare signet. I don't know that necessarily only those 2 people have that signet in the entirety of all of the dragon riders that exist, but, or that are alive right now. But he's like 1,000,000 years old and still he still wears his rider black every day into the infirmary.
Well, and is he like a million years old because he keeps healing him? He keeps mending himself. Like, is he like really a million years old because like he's able to slow down the dying process?
I don't know, but Winifred's old too, and that's his wife, so
All right, well, that's our time.
all right. Did we blow your mind? Let us know in the comments, and remember, we love you. Stay out of the clouds, off the ice, and we'll see you next time. No,
See,
that's not what I say. Stay off the clouds. Stay out of the clouds, off the ice, and come back to us. We'll see you next time.
all right, should we try that as a cut clip?
No.
No, we're just gonna go with this one. All right, see you next time.